understated elegance of British Airways uniforms throughout the decades, and we've been modelled by BA employees. They're all backstage right now, feeling a little bit nervous. So you need to give them lots of love. I've just been showing them how to mince out the back. And I have to say, some of them are better than others, aren't they? Aren't they? Yes, they are. Now, listen, the reason why I'm involved with BA, because they do an absolutely incredible charity drive, which is called Flying Start. It's the British Airways charity partnership with Comic Relief, and to date, you guys have all raised an incredible, you ready for this figure? It's amazing, £10.2 million. I know, it is amazing. They are phenomenal. Every single penny goes to help very, very underprivileged people around the world, including this country, and it's absolutely amazing, so well done you. Now, as our customers, colleagues and supporters, you play an integral part. You've helped us change their lives, but there are many more children who need your help, so please, let's keep up this great work, because the guys want to raise, are you ready for this, 12 million by the end of this year. And I think actually with all of the donations that happen on the plane, all of the events like this, we can do it. And also there's a great raffle going on later on. Who here likes a holiday? Who here would like to go to Kuala Lumpur? Absolutely. Well, they've got a raffle going on later on. So with Club World, which I have to say I've been in Club World, it's very comfortable. It's quite nice. So get your raffle tickets and give it a little go, and fingers crossed you will win one of those prizes. Now, who would like to see some fashion? Wonderful. I'm going to read you a little bit of blurb because it's absolutely fascinating. Now, did you know that British Airways has been flying for nearly 100 years, but in the 1920s and 30s, there were only men flying on board. I have to say, I wouldn't argue with that personally. There was no commercial female pilot or even female cabin crew. So those kind of images you see of flight attendants now, it was nothing like that back then. On-board services were made by male stewards, often recruited from the hotel and shipping industries, and experienced in serving a wealthy clientele, which many early air passengers were. No one else could afford basically to fly. It was not the age of mass air travel, and airline uniforms were not the height of fashion, but basically from the military. They used to wear military uniforms, and we're going to see some of them now. Are you excited? We're going to take you back in time over the years to see exactly how the BA staff looked. So, first up, I'm going to take all of you beautiful people back to the 1930s. Come on, gorgeous. Here we go. Imperial Airways was one of the early predecessor airlines of today's British Airways, and their pilots wore a variety of uniforms to suit the climate and conditions en route. This is an original pilot's uniform from the 1930s and would not be out of place at a Boy Scouts jamboree. Looking wonderful. Not embarrassed at all, which is brilliant. Good socks, I have to say. So that's the 1930s, looking amazing. Thank you very much, Craig. Next up, we've got Jacinta. Now we're going up 10 years to the 1940s, when female stewardess were first recruited in 1946. BOAC, another predecessor airline of British Airways, decided that their girls needed to look both smart and look efficient, but with a softer touch. It was the first collaboration with the fashion trade, as opposed to military uniforms, and this outfit was designed by British designer Maurice Hellman, and it lasted for, can you believe this, 20 years, this uniform. I hope they washed them, is all I'm saying. Thank you very much, Jacinta. Right, so now we're jumping to the 1950s, my favourite decade of fashion. BEA, another predecessor airline of British Airways, was more bespoke in its early uniform designs, but very aware that its female crew uniform should reflect the fashions of the time and were an important part of this overall brand look. This very stylish outfit has a slight Dior feel, as you can see from the pleats at the back, and this came from a French fashion house in the 1950s. You look beautiful, my darling. Thank you. That's Marika. Next up, go on, darling. You can walk. I can't tell me page. we've got the beautiful Michelle. Now we're going into the 1960s, the swinging 60s. By 1960, the BEA grey uniform was considered outdated, and BEA asked a then well-known student from the Royal College of Art to design a uniform to the 1960s. Sylvia Ayton, who subsequently became one of Britain's most foremost fashion designers, created this amazing look, which I would say in the 1960s wouldn't look out of place in the streets of London or the beautiful boulevards of Paris. Give it up for Michelle! Now, in 1967, we created this little number. Now, believe it or not, it's made of paper. 1967, it was the swinging 60s, and women wanted freedom in what they were wearing. Now, this is a true story. It became slightly controversial on flight because the customers used to try and set fire to the uniform. So the girls would always have to wear clean knickers and a clean bra, just in case that happened. Decorated with his neon colours and their neon pumps with a flower in the hair. It really was very, very 1967. Thank you, Philippa, you gorgeous girl. Right, we're going to now, in 1967, BEA became a long association with Hardy Amy's. At the time was Her Majesty the Queen's couturier and doyen of British fashion. Go on, work it. Still very much reflective of the 1960s with a short skirt and a bright red hooded coat. The uniform continued the growing trend for the use of new man-made fibres, such as Traleen, that made it affordable clothing and easy to care. The red overcoat provided a brilliant splash of colour, and I think you look beautiful. Give it up for Mel! 1970, look at that short skirt. This summer shift style uniform was designed by BOAC by Clive Evans, one of Britain's most foremost young fashion designers of the 70s. Made from easy care terylene and cotton twill, it could be washed in a hotel bathroom and drip dried. Which made it, I know, disgusting, which made it absolutely great for hotter climates. I promise you, we did dry clean this. That's not been drip dried in the toilet out the back. Thank you very much, Sharon. Right, okay, next up, we've got Nicola. Okay, we're going to jump to 1972. Ardy Hayes was still designing for us, guys, and this very smart French blue suit with twin rows of scarlet stitching and a Tutankhamun style hat, also in French blue trimmed with a BEA red ribbon. This was a heavy winter weight suit and was very uncomfortable in hot weather. BEA introduced this uniform just before 1974 when it were merged with today's British Airways. And he also, I'm so sorry, first British Airways uniform together. There's so much you've walked off and I'm still talking, Nicola. BOAC's Clive Evans dress was retained for hot climates. Right, too much script. Thank you very much, Nicola. Right, 1977 with Susan. British Airways introduced its first new uniform in 1977, created by British fashion house Baccarat Weatherhall, maintaining a classical tailored style dark blue pinstripe all-wool jacket. God, I feel hot just thinking about it. It was the big age of the 1980s. The Concorde, which is over there on the left. It was all about creating statement and style. So you can see here, the hat, the scarf, the shoulder pads, the pinstripe. I mean, basically, if Margaret Thatcher was on an airline, she'd be wearing this, is what we're saying. Thank you very much, Susan! Every night you'd be on the floor. Okay, now we have 1985 with Savannah and Dan. In 1985, as part of the overall livery, designs came with a more corporate brand face. British Airways made a radical change in its uniform with a more relaxed style for the first time by non-British fashion house. A Frenchman designed this, Roland Klein. He created it in the 1980s with big shoulders and a long skirt that went well with the big hair of the time. It is very 80s, and I actually remember this uniform the first time round. You're all shaking your head. Yes, I am that old. I have to say, very, very beautiful. We could have gone for bigger hair, kids. Just saying. It was the 80s. Here we go, right, British Caledonian Stewardess Uniform 1988. In 1988, British Caledonian Airways was merged with British Airways and brought with it a distinctive Scottish tartan. Caledonian Girls is the title coined by the public for our guys, and it was wore the Princess Mary tartan in choice of 6 different colourways. I have to say, this is one of my favourites. Isn't it absolutely amazing? Can we bring this one back? I like this one. Absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. Give it up for Mel. Oh my God, they walk. Can you walk slower this time? Is that all right? Okay, here we go. British Airways 1993. Okay. Aimed at a new look for the 21st century in 1993, British Airways commissioned the Irish fashion designer, a good mate of mine, Paul Costello, to provide a new image that evoked elegant, classic British quality. A significant move away from the relaxed 1980s style of the Roland Klein uniform. The stylish wool jacket with a pin dot design complemented the striking Aztec design of the blouse and skirt, made it an easy care polyester crepe de chine, a blend of casual sophistication that presented a professional but approachable image at all times. Not that slow, you're all right, you're okay. Thanks, Michelle. Right, 2003, the current uniform, Jacinta and Craig. This outfit and uniform is designed by one of the country's best designers, Julian MacDonald, known for his glamour, sophistication, tight tailoring, trained as a textile designer down in Brighton a few years ago, and all of a sudden he's doing our uniforms. I think they look absolutely wonderful. And also this hat is designed by probably the most powerful milliner in the world, Mr. Stephen Jones. This is how we see our amazing staff right now. Give it up for Jacinta and Craig. And keep your applause going for all of our amazing BA staff who are very brave models today, modelling the uniforms over the decades. Give it up for our guys, come on. So that's it, guys. Over the years, BA obviously have changed their face of their uniforms, but one thing they haven't changed is their taste in customer service. Arguably the best airline in the world. Give it up for our guys. Thank you very much. Come on, love. There we go. Thank you, guys. Right, we've got another show later on. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much for coming. See you in a bit. Love you.